Hello, everybody. It's me, Tonic TZW, and I've just finished the campaign and managed to get the Dutch campaign ship, the Seven Provincia, as I think it's pronounced in Dutch. It is a cruiser. I want to say it's a light cruiser. I've only played a couple of games in it. Um, the trick of this is that it has airstrikes, which is highly unusual and has taken some getting used to. But we'll have a look through my build here. It looks like it's a good commander for cruiser inspirations with Carol Doorman. Not a doorman, it's a doorman. And this is the build that I've used for this game. It may not be the perfect build, it may not be the best build, but it's a build that I'm trying out and seeing what I find and how it performs. But what I've gone for is I've gone for speed. I've used, I think it's Ingenious in the first slot there because with it being very lightly armored, it's nice to know how many people are pointing their guns at you. And I didn't really get this skill. It says that it can increase damage by shells up to 50%, but then the percentage rate doesn't go up to 50%. And I've taken fully packed, so I've got an extra consumable, which is a heal in this case and an AA booster. We're running Norman Scott there to give us a little bit of extra grouping, and we're running Nikolai Kuznetsov to give us a little bit of extra range because I don't want to be putting myself too close in the way of danger. We're here on Trap. It looks like there's a few people have managed to get the campaign ship unlocked today because there's 3 of them in this game. And I know that people say, oh, you only put games on, or that CCs and other content creators only put like games on where they get tons of medals and massive damage scores and things like that. This isn't a massive damage game because I play quite cautiously. And one of the reasons I started to play quite cautiously is because the battleship that spawns here is going to turn around and run away. The cruiser that's here seems to be inactive, and I'm doing the foolish thing of pushing towards the capture points in this cruiser because I think if I can get behind the island, then I can have a go with these airstrikes. It is a CV match as well. Now, is it surprising that Wargaming have released an AA cruiser at the same time that they tweaked the CVs? Because I've seen nothing but stories of people getting absolutely mullered by CVs, no matter how good their AA is. But I've got 3 engine boosts, I've got 4 heals, and I've got 3 AA boosts on there, and we've got a little bit of cover behind this island. Now, this is quite a cruiser-heavy game. There's a couple of battleships, the carrier, and a couple of destroyers. There's a Lepanto, and it took me a little while to figure out this this airstrike aiming thing because it seems a little bit unusual. And what I didn't realize is that obviously it's not an instantaneous drop. It does take a while. As you can see there's a timer counting down, but we are going to get some hits. But while you're in that top-down view, you're a little bit distracted because it does kind of close down your view, and then you miss something like a Siegfried coming around the corner, so you have to hit your engine boost and get the heck out of dodge. But in kiting away, so this is where the extra cruiser speed comes in to help me, we can get some fires onto this Siegfried, because the statistics for the ship says that it does have a very good fire setting chance, but I had a look and it's something like 11%. And there's other ships that have got much higher fire setting chances, but we seem to have done a good enough job on that Siegfried, so we're going to switch our attention to the Megami. Very long range, very floaty shells here. The extra range from Kuznetsov is going to help with that, and I'm just having a look to see if I can get an airstrike on to this Siegfried. So there we go. And again, because it closes in your view there, I don't see the anchorage, who I think was the one that slapped me with some armor piercing there. So be very aware of the position of your ship and position of the red team ships when you're going to try and jump into that airstrike mode. The Siegfried is still burning. I think he's coming out from behind there to have another crack at me. I've still got 23 seconds before I can do another airstrike. There are 3 of them. There's a slight delay between when you can launch them, but you can reduce that with one of the legendary perks. There we go. Siegfried having a very, very good crack at me, and we're already popping another heal because we don't want to go out this game too early. There is also a limit of range on these airstrikes, so perhaps if you wanted to get a little bit closer to red team without being detected, then you might want to run, I can't remember which one it is. There's a Japanese commander that reduces your concealment. And I'm guessing you could also run Swirsky as well to further reduce that concealment. I'm looking at speed and maneuverability, and the fact that I'm spotted means there's a destroyer out there. And the Hawk that did spawn with us is still behind us, and I'm just trying to use range here to stay away from as much trouble as possible. Our destroyer's gone into B cap and secured that, and the rest of the team have managed to secure, or just about to secure, Charlie Cap. But we do lose our other 7 provinces ship. Turn out of that anchorage and see if we can get some more fires on him. Look at how floaty these shells are. It's like they're getting delivered by a stoned Dutch postman. But yeah, they take forever to get there. But we're going to do what we can. The anchorage is going to pop a smoke screen and slow down, and he's going to focus our cruiser that's out there behind us. And we're going to try and plop some shots there until such times as he disappears. We'll see a little bit more of him later. Now you'll see there that I'm spotted and I'm being targeted. That's because there is something within my detection range currently. The fact that nothing is shooting directly at me. There's the destroyer. It was perhaps him that was spotting me and the anchorage that was targeting me. But it's a good skill to have on a commander, because when you're up against a lot of destroyers, and we don't have sonar on this cruiser, it's good to know when you're being targeted and how many ships are targeting you, because you can then put in a few twists and turns. We're going to get onto this Z23. Our Amalfi is running him down, and he is going to get torpedoed. Not quite to death, but that Z23 or the anchorage are going to pick him up. Siegfried has decided that he wants to come in for another crack now. Now, I don't know whether I'm making the best use of this ship, because if it's got a good fire starting chance and I've got quite a fast reload on it, do I just want to play it at range a little bit like Suzuya? And if there's cover, to slip in behind that cover and take the time to try and drop a couple of airstrikes on things. But while there are destroyers running around, it's not easy to hide really and go into that airstrike view and sort of close down your vision. I really much prefer on having a wider view of the battle. So will I play this ship a lot? I don't know. I've only played 2 games in it, and we'll see what we can do to improve the statistics over time. Now, I'm sure there are cruiser mains out there who are able to give a more definitive view on this ship and how it performs against other tier 7 ships. I certainly wouldn't want to be in a battleship heavy game with this. Yes, you could sort of sneak in, get close and get a few airstrikes onto them. But is that situational? I think perhaps it is. There are going to be maps where this ship is good if you've got somebody spotting for you, and there are going to be maps and sort of team balances where the ship is absolutely awful. But there is the Anchorage, who looks like he has backed himself against an island. I know there's still a destroyer out there, and I'm quite certain that I'm out of torpedo range. So I'm just going to keep twisting and turning. It's pretty much, I was going to say even Stevens as far as ships go, but the fact we've controlled 2 caps means that we've got an advantage in this game. And trust me, that's an advantage that we're going to need, as my salvo with HE takes about 3 days to land, but we do take care of that cruiser. Now, I don't need to push this cap, but I just wanted to see what could possibly be done with this ship, and I want to try and bait this destroyer into making a mistake. Let me just say that the ship who is going to make a mistake is the Hawk that spawned with me, the Hawk that ran away from the flank, the Hawk that is now turned round and is following me back towards the battle. I'm kind of indicating to the carrier there that at this stage of the game, there really isn't any need for him to be stuck in that back corner of the map. I know there are lots of people who are trying out carriers at the moment who perhaps aren't experienced and still believe that the safest place for them is the back corner of the map or humping the white line. Deep sigh there. Everybody can play, but there are only a few people that can actually play, if you know what I mean. The Panto's out there, he's broadside to us. We're going to try and get some of these very floaty HE shells onto him, see if we can get a fire, and look at how far I'm having to lead him there to get these shells to actually drop anywhere near on target. I'm glad that we've still got our carrier in the game. We do have a battleship pushing into the Lepanto. He's not going to last this battle, and I'm just going to try and do what I can to get damage onto this Lepanto until such time as that battleship disappears, because I didn't realise that Red Team still have a cruiser in this game, and he's around there on around the 3 o'clock position of Bravo Cap in the centre of the map. But here we go, still putting the shots out onto the Lepanto. It's not really a high damage game at all, because I'm just finding my feet. Our dice end goes out. Can't remember where the dice end came from, but I've never seen it played well. But a couple more shots out towards that battleship as he disappears into his smokescreen. The Dyson does take him down with a flood and picks himself up a flesh wound badge, and I am calling on our carrier for some intelligence data. And look, there we go. There is the destroyer, there is the cruiser, full health Megami. I'm thinking that battleship can go around the corner and delete that guy surely, and he must know that the Megami has torpedoes. Now, the fact that I'm targeted, and the fact that I'm spotted, I know the island's blocking me from the Megami, but it does mean that the destroyer had a line of sight on me, and this is where this game is going to become dangerous. Now here, look, I can drop the airstrikes, and I'm thinking, am I going to get onto him? But I need to pay a little bit more attention as to how quickly ships are moving and how soon those airstrikes land, because it looks to be around 12 seconds. Now, without a shadow of a doubt, that Megami has turned broadside. He's put torpedoes across this side of the map, and there they are. I'm also aware that there is a good chance that the destroyer, which is a Z-23, who has sonar, smoke and torpedoes, obviously, is on my right-hand side. And I think about pushing round against this Megami. Now, I do switch to AP for this cruiser, and although we get a couple of Citadel hits, I didn't think that the armor piercing was very effective. You'd think that something like a Megami would go down a lot quicker. Maybe I just wasn't hitting him in the right place. But I'm going to be playing with my throttle, and I'm thinking, okay, you're sailing straight into that cap. This Z-23 is definitely going to be putting torpedoes this way, so I am going to turn away from where you are potentially heading and where I was potentially heading to, and I'm going to slam the engines into reverse. Lo and behold, there are the torpedoes. So there is a little bit of using game knowledge and game experience to figure out what might actually happen in a situation. There is the next set of torpedoes, and there is a set from the Hawk going towards the smoke screen. Now, we haven't got eyes on this cruiser, and so it's going to be risky business. We need to try and reset them and also not hit one of these islands and make ourselves a bit of a sitting duck. But there he is. There is the Megami. Now, has he turned and put torpedoes this way? That's what we don't know. I know that the Hawk can't help me at the moment because he's now dead. And there we go. We're going to get some good salvos against this Megami. Targeted again. Expecting gunfire to come in from the Z-23 anytime soon. We get a double citadel there. We're going to hit him again. He's slowed down, and again, the damage just doesn't seem to be there. He's slightly angled. I'm looking for an airstrike, but the carrier has taken him down, and I'm still spotted. And flicking between the different shell modes and this airstrike business can get a little bit confusing. And oh god, here we go. The Z-23's got a reload on me. And there we go. So that's flood, which means if I get set on fire now, then I'm in trouble. There's his second set of torpedoes. There's the torpedoes from the Megami. And there is the Z-23, who, while my turrets traverse, is going to get a bit of a whale on me. But the clock is ticking down, and I figured the game is won. It is most definitely won now as we pick ourselves up a dreadnought. So only 83,500 damage. We get a couple of kills out of it. Somehow we do manage to finish top of the board, and I don't really know how I managed to do that. I played very conservatively, very cautiously, but I'm not great with cruisers. But I'd like to think I did an okay job of that one. So if you've got the campaign ship and you've started playing it, let me know how you've got to build, what your maximum damage and your maximum XP is. There's a few cruiser games on my channel, not too many, so stick around, click one of these links. And as always, until next time, take care of yourselves and goodbye.